Good afternoon, I'm Tori Campbell. Firefighters rescued a woman from the balcony of her burning apartment in Marin County this morning. New this morning, police have called off the search for a driver suspected of stealing a car in Contra Costa County and crashing it in Berkeley early this morning. Homeowners who live near Levi's Stadium or on the peninsula are hoping to cash in next February. This morning, crews in the South Bay are working to repair a road that buckled in a water main break that also flooded the neighborhood. KTVU Fox 2's Janine De La Vega joins us from San Jose to tell us what kind of progress they've made and how it's affected residents. And boy, such a bummer to see during the drought all that wasted water, Janine. We're continuing to follow developing news in Contra Costa County this morning, where evacuation orders grew overnight as the Morgan wildfire is still burning out of control. We'll have much more on the fire in moments. Good morning. Welcome once again to Morning Sun 2. I'm Tori Campbell. Continuing coverage right now on our developing news. An early morning fire at a construction site has turned into a commuter nightmare right now. This was at a senior center that was under construction very close to the West Oakland BART station. So right now, BART service is shut down across the bay. Now, it's important to mention, BART is still running in the East Bay, like from Bay Point to Lafayette, and in the West Bay, from Colma to Embarcadero, for example, but you just cannot travel between Oakland and San Francisco. And that's causing a lot of problems. Back to breaking news we first told you about a short time ago. News Chopper 2 just arrived on the scene at a 3-alarm fire in Vallejo. The fire started just before 8 this morning in the 200 block of Dryden Drive. And you can see the roof is heavily damaged and streets in that neighborhood are cordoned off. So once again, live pictures from News Chopper 2. We'll continue to follow this story on KTVU Channel 2 News at noon. Thanks for watching.
Reporting live in Washington, D.C., I'm Tori Campbell, KTVU Channel 2 News.
A special night for the Warriors and their fans. Everyone celebrated as confetti rained down inside Oracle Arena last night. I read some of the Cavs players are being held together by Scotch tape. But we get to the end of the season. All right, so game 2 Sunday, what do you think? Well, I heard they can spin the ball on anything. Yeah. So I'm going to suggest, if I can get this off, can they do it on my heel?
We're coming for you right now.
So I feel like Cinderella. I'm handing over my glass slipper. Yeah.
I got you.
All right. You gonna be able to handle that?
Michael Kors, everybody, by the way.
Okay.
She don't mess around.
Oh, wait. Let's spin. The music. TC.
Oh my gosh.
I think Cinderella would have really loved this one.
Nice job. Thank you. This was an excerpt from yesterday's show, taped in response to a letter sent last week by a group of doctors to Columbia University. And they're asking the school to remove the TB doctor from the school's faculty. Dr. Oz is saying that he never promotes treatments for his own financial gain and that his goal is to provide his viewers with the best, most current information, multiple points of view, and diverse opinions. And Dr. Oz joins us now this morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Tori.
Why do you think these 10 doctors sent this letter to Columbia University? Police and community relations will be the topic of a roundtable discussion led by U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder this morning in Oakland. He was charged by President Obama with examining the relationship between communities and law enforcement across the country following the fatal police shooting in Ferguson, Missouri. Congresswoman Barbara Lee is here, and she's going to be at today's discussion, but you stopped by here first to talk about this initiative and its goal. Good morning, Congresswoman.
Good morning.
Great to see you. So you invited the Attorney General to come, and you said you're very excited to tell him your ideas about change. What are some of those ideas?
Sure.
Joining me now is the co-host and Oscar winner, Hilary Swank. I think it's really interesting, hearing people talk about their animals, about their pets, because it's kind of the big equalizer. No matter what your status is, people are pet lovers, and they bring so much joy to all of our lives. So I think it should be a wonderful show.
That's a really good way to say it, an equalizer.
Christy Yamaguchi dazzled millions with her amazing skating skills in 1992 when she won the Olympic gold in ladies singles. Since then, the Bay Area native has become a philanthropist, starting the Always Dream Foundation, which encourages early childhood literacy. Christy joins us now in studio to talk about a special campaign you're taking part in this morning in Oakland. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, I have to ask you, when you look at video like that of you as a young skater, do you miss that kind of intense competition, or are you kind of relieved it's over?
Both. I'm definitely relieved, but you know, there's no greater feeling than to be at the top of your game and to be able to compete and, you know, feel like you can go out there and do anything.
Yeah, it was that moment in 2006 that catapulted Taylor Hicks' career and undoubtedly changed his life. And now the Silver Fox continues to use his celebrity to make a difference. Taylor Hicks joins us live. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Is it weird to see that moment again?
You know, I wish I looked as good as Catherine did then, you know. She still looks good now,
she
too.
Does.
So.
Yeah, absolutely she does. Now, so I don't know if you still watch the show, and I'm just curious what kind of advice you would give to the people who are now in season 14, just started this week.
I love the show.
On a chilly afternoon on January 15th, the nation was captivated as Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger successfully landed U.S. Airways Flight 1549 into the Hudson River after both his engines lost thrust due to birds.
Got it. Back is 1529. We can get it for you. Do you want to try to land 1813?
We're unable. We may end up in the Hudson.
9 months later, the country is still fascinated by Captain Sullenberger and the miracle on the Hudson. The Danville resident joins me this morning to talk about his story in his new book, Highest Duty. It is a pleasure to have you here, Captain. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Have you gotten used to all the attention?
Well, we've had to, haven't we?
Uh-huh.
It was a life-changing event, not only for everybody on the airplane and their families, but for my family as well. And at first it was overwhelming, but we're approaching our new normal.
Yeah, so it's been almost a year now, so you're starting to get a little more familiar with this.
Just through practice, we're getting better at it.
Well, and the way that kind of sets up to, you know, you didn't just end up in the cockpit on Flight 1549 in a vacuum. And you talk about how all your life experiences put you in almost an ideal position to handle such a disaster.
Well, I think it helped me not only to handle that day, but for everything that came after.
But you're going in just, you know, in a matter of a few days from being number 2 in the state, and you even had, you know, thought about running for governor for a while. Now you're going to be a rookie among over 500 members of Congress. Is this going to be a tough transition for you?
I don't think so. It's really about relationships in every job, particularly in politics.
Hi there. So I want to share 2 other really quick and easy recipes that you can make. Like for a salad, you can have the most wonderful salad in the world, but if you don't have a healthy salad dressing, you're kind of defeating the whole purpose. So here's an easy salad dressing from the Engine 2 Diet Cookbook. It tastes delicious, has no fat, literally takes about 30 seconds to make. So you put in 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of organic maple syrup, and you add a splash of water, shake it up, and you're good to go. Makes about 4 or 5 servings. It's really, really good. All right, and finally, I love chocolate. So I made a really fun chocolate dessert. I call them brownie bites. They're basically like a German chocolate cake. And here's what you do. First of all, you put in a cup of pecans into your food processor, and you give it a little whirl. Make sure you got the food processor all working properly. And just chop them up. That's all you need to do with that. Then you're going to take a cup of dates, really nice, tasty dates. They're really sweet. Put those in, and then you process that as well so that they blend up nicely with the pecans. And all you have to do is add a few more ingredients. Shredded coconut flakes, hopefully unsweetened is good, and then 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 2 tablespoons of, I like agave nectar, but you can use any kind of sweetener. You can use honey, you could use maple syrup, just a little bit to sweeten it up. And then the last thing you need is just a little pinch of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and you blend that up again in the food processor. Give it a quick whirl. And then when it's done, you have kind of a thick paste that looks like this. That's all kind of chopped up. And you take about a tablespoon or so, and you're going to squeeze it together and roll it into a ball. And you do that. I usually makes about 18 to 20 little bite-sized balls like that. You put it in the freezer for about 3 hours, and you get these lovely brownie bites. Really easy, very simple, very tasty. So I hope you enjoy. Again, we're going to have more recipes on our website, ktvu.com, as well as my Facebook page. So let me know what you think. Hi there. I am really excited to make this chocolate mousse for you. I've had many people try this and everyone loves it and they just can't believe it's also so healthy. So very easy, just a few simple ingredients. We're going to start with a ½ cup of pitted medjool dates that have been soaked for 20 minutes and then drained. Dates are a great source of fiber and plus some essential minerals like potassium and calcium. So you put that in your food processor along with a ½ cup of organic maple syrup. So there's no pesticides or chemicals, and then 1 teaspoon or so of vanilla. Just splash that in there, and then you put in on the food processor and give it a quick whirl. So you process that till it is fairly smooth, and now comes the secret ingredient. This is about a cup and a half of ripe avocados, about 3 avocados, slightly mashed. Avocados are a wonderful source of healthy fat. It's still very high in fat, but a healthy source. It's anti-inflammatory, can help lower your risk of heart disease and some cancers. Then you add 3/4 of a cup of dark unsweetened cocoa powder. Again, a great source of antioxidants, including vitamin E and selenium. And if you want to add a tablespoon or 2 of organic sugar, I like cane juice if you want it a little on the sweet side. You also have the dates and maple syrup for natural sweeteners. And then you're going to add about a ½ cup of water in order to make it a little bit smoother. And that is all the ingredients. And then you give it another quick whirl in the food processor. You may need to stop a few times and scrape down the side, but that's essentially it. And then this is the final result here. You have this lovely dark chocolate mousse. I like to add a little fresh fruit to make it look nice and festive. And that's it. It makes about 6 servings, lasts in the refrigerator for 3 days or up to 2 weeks in the freezer. And it tastes absolutely wonderful, so rich and creamy. I want to mention this recipe came from Heather Haxo Phillips of Raw Bay Area in Berkeley. Hope you enjoy it. Happy Valentine's Day.